Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 20, text number 20. Sthanabhimukapiyenam anugraha vilambita Pashyan padma pala saksho na prataste suhurtum satam. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord was just about to leave, but because he was so greatly inclined toward the behavior of King Prithu, he did not depart. Seeing the behavior of Maharaj Prithu with his lotus eyes, he was detained because he is always the well-wisher of his devotees. Purport. Here the words Suhurtam Satan are very significant. Supreme Personality of Godhead is always very inclined towards his devotee and is always thinking of the devotee's well-being. This is not partiality. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is equal to everyone. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. But to one who particularly engages in his service, he is very much inclined. In another place, the Lord says that a devotee always exists in his heart, and he also exists always in the heart of the devotee. The special inclination of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for his pure devotee is not unnatural, nor is it partiality. For example, sometimes a father has several children, but he has special affection for one child who is very much inclined toward him. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Those who constantly engage in devotional service of the Lord in love and affection are directly in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead sitting as the super soul in everyone's heart. The Lord is not far away from the devotee. He is always in everyone's heart, but only the devotee can realize the Lord's presence, and thus he is directly connected, and he takes instruction from the Lord at every moment. Therefore, there is no chance of a devotee being in error, nor is there any partiality on the part of the Lord for his pure devotees. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So, it is said here that King Prithu Maharaj is worshipping the lotus feet of Vishnu, who is before him, and experiencing transcendental ecstasy by the reciprocation of the Supreme Lord. Now the Lord wanted to leave, but it is said here that he was so greatly inclined towards Prithu Maharaj, he did not depart. It said here, seeing the behavior of Maharaj Prithu with his lotus eyes, he was detained because is always a well-wisher of his devotees. So the Supreme Lord, as a friend of all living entities, is seated in the hearts of all living entities. The Supreme Lord is always full. Means always full in everything. So even if he is seated in everyone's heart, he is full in everyone's heart. He is not divided. Just like the sun reflects on many water bodies, that does not mean sun is divided. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Father of all living entities, Amayamsa Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana, Supreme Father of all living entities. So that relationship between the spirit soul, spirit person and the Supreme Spirit person both are always existing. In each one of us, the Lord is always existing, always existed in the past. He is existing now. He will exist in future. Because for the Lord, present, past, future, all these things are the same. He exists in eternity, not in this material time. He exists in a Satchidananda Vigraha, even in our heart. This verse is talking about very sweet relationship. The Lord wanted to leave, but still He doesn't want to leave. It is said He is pleased by the behavior of Prithu Maharaj. What is his behavior? His behavior was surrendered. Paid obeisances. Worshipped His lotus feet with great awe and reverence. Submissively heard the instruction that the Supreme Lord has given him with respect to the dispute. Preached to him great transcendental lessons, transcendental knowledge. How to be free from envy of all living entities. Even those who hurt us. So these are some of the qualities that became pleasing to Vishnu. Just like in our real life, if somebody is very respectful to you, you become pleased with him, with that behavior of offering respect. Here it is no different. The Supreme Lord is present before the eyes of Prithu Maharaj and all the sages and Indra. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. Anytime he wants, he can make his transcendental body visible to the mortal eyes. Even though he is not material energy, he is Satchidananda Vigraha. His Satchidananda Vigraha has that potency to appear in the material world, in its very same body, not necessarily taking a material body. That is another type of avatara. Expansion is one type of avatara. Avesha avatara is another type, enters into another living entity. But this Paramatma is called Leela Avatara. Paramatma is one of the Purusha Avataras. And he is engaged in as a Param Ishvara. Setting forth Kala, Guna, everything for the living entities who do not want to remember him but want to be a person and enjoy himself, as everybody is doing in the material world. God consciousness is a natural consciousness of every one of us. Now, if you see in the material world, you will see that not being conscious of God is a default, is appearing to be natural for all of us. But actually the truth is that this is the artificial consciousness, a consciousness of a living entity delinked from the supreme super soul is an illusion. The truth is that think that they are two separated is illusion. The truth is that they are eternally inseparable. Father is eternally Father. The children are eternally children. In the sense that he is a supreme living entity and we are also tiny living entities. But that supreme living entity is the one who is maintaining all the unlimited tiny living entities. While maintaining all the unlimited living entities who are no recognition of him or conscious of him, yet all their desires are fulfilled by the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because no living entity can move matter. It is only by the sanction of the Supreme Lord matter is moved. I desire to move and I succeed to move because he sanctions to move. Everything in this material world, because Jiva is spirit, it cannot push matter. It is only by the intervention of the super soul all the bodily functions are happening. It is only by the intervention of the super soul, the Dehi who is sitting in this Deha can move its limbs, can move his tongue, anything. Only by his mercy. Even an atheist, even a blasphemer of God, the capacity to do that, the capacity of his tongue is all sanctioned by the Supreme Lord. So therefore, in that sense, samoham sarvabhuteshu, I am equal to all living entities, devotee, non-devotee. That is one side. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. A demons. I am equal to you. As you do tapas, you gain power. That is all my system. He has created this system of karma phala, cycle of karma. By taking advantage of punya karmas, you can become very powerful. Powerful either to be God conscious or powerful to be demon. That is the rule of the material world. The entire material world is set up by this Param Ishvara for each living entity to fulfill his desires. So that, in that sense, being a fulfiller of desires of demons, devotees, everything, he is Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. Now Prabhupada is explaining here, saying that very beautiful example. Sometimes a father has several children, but he has special affection for one child who is very much inclined towards him. So when it comes to Preeti, without Preeti, independent, total forgetfulness of Krishna, he is living in Ahankara. That I am, Ahankara really means I am disconnected from Krishna. An identity disconnected from Krishna is called Ahankara, false ego. False ego, Ahamkara. Real Ahamkara, Aham, is I am eternal servant of Krishna. That is not false ego. So there is false Ahankara, means false I identity. False labeling, Ahamkara, the labeling of I, which has nothing to do with Krishna. That is false Ahankara. Ahankara, Aham we cannot avoid. You have to have a true Ahamkara or you have to have a false Ahamkara. Because we are all persons. We are all Vyaktis. Our present Ahankara has to be purified into being an eternal part and parcel servant of Krishna. So, those who are inclined, those who are devotees of the Lord, Krishna reciprocates to their love. That is also equality. Why you are favoring the devotee? If you ask the Lord, He will say, you have also got an equal opportunity to receive my favor. Ye tavam prapadyante tamsate bhajamiham. As you surrender, I reciprocate. So, the degree to which my devotee has surrendered is more than yours. You are surrendered to the material energy. My devotee is surrendered to me. You are surrendered to the material energy, which is also me. So because you are surrendered to the material energy is responding to you. Kala, karma. There also I am reciprocating. I am equal to everybody. Here is a devotee, he comes, he sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. He surrenders unto me. Then another aspect of mine will reciprocate. which is that me personally will reciprocate. In the other one, it is impersonal reciprocation. His agencies will take care. Just like police department will take care. Maya will take care. I only have set up all the systems for living entities who want to forget me. I have set up the system. Enjoy independently, work hard, commit sinful activities, get pain, suffering. Temporary suffering. Brahma Bonaloka Punaravartano Arjuna. Brahmaloka to and we take different bodies according to our karma. Insects, worms, to Brahma. I reciprocate. I have set up the law of karma. If enough punya is there, he will go up. If punya is not there, he will come down. In fact, in the material world, nobody can explain through any other philosophy why somebody is rich, somebody is suffering, somebody is not suffering, why someone is born poor, why somebody is born rich. It's all because of the laws of karma. In the case of karmis, and if Krishna is personally involved, in the karmis also Krishna is involved, but through his agent Kala. Not a blade of grass can move without his sanction. It is his world. But in this material world, he gives a facility for the living entity to adopt a material mind and go into illusion and play the game of different sense gratification persona, jnani personas, karmi personas, who chase after fruitive results, chase after power. Whole material world chasing money. Money means power. We should see all these things. We should see the world from the perspective of the Shastra. So accurate is the description that nobody is interested in Krishna here. Very few. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyante. Very few. Among them, one who becomes close to Krishna is even few. So as far as Krishna is concerned, he is samoham sarvabhuteshu. That statement is applicable even with respect to Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees. And Prabhupada makes very important points here in this purport. That how, when one is completely engaged in devotional service of the Lord, he is in constant association of the super soul who guide him. The Lord is not far away from the devotee, he is always in everyone's heart, but only the devotee can realize the Lord's presence, and thus he is directly connected and he takes instruction from the Lord at every moment. It becomes natural. in Krishna consciousness, when my consciousness is absorbed in Krishna consciousness or Krishna's consciousness, Krishna's presence, when my consciousness is absorbed in that, then that devotee is a perfect instrument in the hand of the Supreme Lord. His desires are desires of the Lord. The desires of the Lord are His desires. The will of the Lord is His will, and His will is the will of the Lord. There's perfect merging of the living entity and the Supreme Lord in quality. Totally free from bodily concept of life, such a devotee, though he is living in the body, he is free from bodily concept of life, but yet he engages his entire body in service of the Supreme Lord, who receives the surrender of the devotee. And such a devotee is always, he does not have to worry. Another statement Prabhupada makes here. First line, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always inclined toward his devotee and always thinking of his devotee's well-being. Just see, thinking of devotee's well-being. Even in this life, in this body also, in this body. Because there is nothing material for the devotee. The devotee's body is Krishna's instrument. The body's well-being is taken care of by the Supreme Lord. The Lord is always waiting for His children. I forget that, the living entities forget that God is mine. The Lord never forgets that every jiva is mine. But jiva is not giving an opportunity to relate and reciprocate. He has turned his face away from the Lord. So therefore, ye yata mam prapadyante tam sata bhajamiham. You deal with my material energy. You cannot be free. You are amsha. You are either under my direct loving care, or you are under the care of the material energy. Within quotes, care. That care need not be really care. Horrible things can happen to you. Because Kala is impersonal aspect of the Lord. Impersonal aspect of Supreme Lord is Kala, of Super Soul is Kala. Because the Supreme Lord is plenary, yes, He is omnipotent. Similarly, Kala is also very potent. It is moving the entire material energy. From present to next moment, everything is moving this material world with the force of Kala, according to the pattern of karma. through the influence, the resulting influence is called guna. Gunakala karma. Pravaha. Pravaha means flood. This flood is sweeping everybody, all the jivas in the material world. That is why we grow old, we don't have control over our growth. We are born at some time, and the time pushes us, our bodies grow, and we grow, then we die. How can you say all these things are automatic? No, there is a force. If there is no force, then why don't you prove yourself? Okay, my nose will not grow beyond this size anymore. I have decided. No, your nose will grow. I will not grow old from today. No, you will grow old. Your body is not under your control. This is a superior control. Yes, just because I have little control. I want to raise my hand, I can raise my hand. Little control. But total control is not there. Kala is controlling according to karma. Disease comes. Old age comes. We have to face it. Nobody likes. Nobody likes old age and disease. If you are the supreme controller, then all the you should not get dislike, things that you dislike should not be inflicted upon you. But against my wish, all these things are inflicted upon me. But the devotee chooses instead of Kala, the super soul. And Kala is active. Kala only is moving, even devotee's body. Because Kala is Krishna only. Moving. But that Kala is tamed according to the will of the Supreme Lord. Kala Sarpa. Kala is called Sarpa. There is only one person who can tame this Sarpa, this Kala Sarpa. Only one snake charmer. That is the super soul. He changes the course of Kala for the devotee. Prabhupada explains that so much suffering was supposed to come due to my past karma, to be pushed upon by Kala. But by the mercy of the Lord in my heart, He has protected me, saved me, and given me little difficulty, sample difficulty. Devotee is therefore completely surrendered. His life is surrendered because the Lord takes care of my well-being. What is the definition of my well-being? After surrendering to Krishna, whatever is happening for my well-being, for my spiritual well-being. So in a devotee's life, he does not live alone. He is always conscious of the Lord who is in his heart. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals this sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta matasmritir jnanam apohanam cha ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hrideshi arjuna tishtati brahmayani antaruddhani maya. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavayana bharata. Krishna in Kurukshetra, before Arjuna, is telling Arjuna, I am in everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham, aham. I am seated in everybody's heart. I am the Ishvara in everybody's heart. I raise my hand. I am controlling my hand. But behind it, I am the Supreme Ishvara. So it is so beautiful to become Krishna conscious at every moment. Relationship with Krishna as my supreme friend. Suhurtam sarvabhutanam hrideshi arjuna tishtati. It's our choice to become Krishna conscious and receive reciprocation from Him. If we live in forgetfulness of Krishna, then that is not, we are like karmis. Chetasa sarva karmani maya sanyas. We all have to work. Nobody can keep quiet without working. What does Krishna say? Chetasa sarva karmani maya sanyasya matparaha. 24 hours we are working. And here Krishna says how to work. By remembering Him. Chetasa sarva karmani maya sanyasya matparaha buddhyoga upashitya matchitta satatam bhava. Mat prasadat tarishyasi. Atachetvam ahankara na shosasi vinangshasi. In other words, Krishna is telling you, work. I am also there with you in this heart. In your heart I am there. Offer all your works unto me. Chetasa sarva karmani mayi sanyasya matparaha. It is Krishna's work. Even if you are producing nuts and bolts, this formula is valid. Every work, you are put in such a situation according to your karma, that morning to evening you have to work on a lathe, producing nuts and bolts. One may say it is not Krishna conscious, but for him, at that point of time, for everyone, the duty in which he is put in due to his past karma, he has to offer to Krishna. He has to use that opportunity to learn everything. Chetasa sarva karmani. Act itself. Action as an offering unto Him. Whether it's nuts and bolts or the meaning is another thing. Or you are doing arati. Or you are producing nuts and bolts. Or you are chanting Hare Krishna. There are different levels of Krishna consciousness. But even if you are producing nuts and bolts, you are working in a software company. Your occupational duty, you find yourself in that situation. Tomorrow it may change. Tomorrow my occupation duty may become preaching, direct service of Krishna, freed from the meaningless nuts and bolts. But however I have to work, that work is, I surrender unto Krishna. Whatever you do, offer unto me, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Whatever. He didn't qualify. You do arati, you chant Hare Krishna, that I will accept. No, if you offer, whatever you do, whatever you give away, yat korosi yat juhosi, whatever you do, whatever you give away, everything. Whatever you eat, make it as an offering unto me. It becomes yajna. It may not be bhakti. First, every life connection with Krishna begins as yajna. That all the work that you do should be done for the satisfaction of Krishna. My ability to work, nature of work, what work, that is next level of, or next level of, higher levels are there of work. But all works can be given to Krishna, because my ability to work is coming from Krishna. So those who get opportunity to work for Krishna, full-time devotees, they are very special. They got very special mercy from the Lord. They don't have to work in the factories, nuts and bolts. But if that person who is working in the doing nuts and bolts morning to evening, if he practices his work as yajna, then one day he will get the work of bhakti. Direct service of the Lord. This is spiritual evolution. Nobody is prevented from climbing the next step in the ladder towards Krishna. Whether he is a karmi, whether he is a devotee, from wherever he is, Bhagavad Gita gives us instruction how to take one step towards Krishna. Like that, each one of us traveling in this material world from different bodies have taken different steps in the past. That is called sukriti, ajnata sukriti. Punya is one thing, sukriti is another thing. Punyas that are connected with Krishna is called sukriti. Asuras also do punya. Is not connected to Vishnu. So, ajnata sukriti, without knowing even, one offers service to Vishnu. Like that, Prabhupada was asked that Nectar of Devotion says, unless we have done so much of punya, nobody can become a devotee. So the foreign devotees asked Prabhupada, so that means we have done so much punya in the past. So what was Prabhupada's answer? Prabhupada said, I have created your punya. How he created the punya? He allowed them to serve him. Serving a pure devotee is the highest punya. Suddenly they become millionaire punyavadis, punyatmas, billionaire punyatmas. Just like you get a lottery, suddenly you will have billions in your account. Similarly, a pure devotee walks, one dandavat, you become a billionaire in terms of which punya. But there is no doubt, without enough of sukriti, Shraddha will not develop. Shraddha in God will not develop. Shraddha in Krishna will not develop. If Shraddha doesn't develop, you won't become a devotee. So that is why our preaching, everything is preaching that we do. Sometimes devotees say preaching means only I have to talk about Krishna. It's all narrow-mindedness. People come to this temple, you're not preaching to them anything. They come, they pay their obeisances. They bow down before the Lord. You have created Sukruti. They go before the demigods, do the same thing. They'll get punya. You go out to collect Lakshmi from LLP preachers go. I don't see any devotion and all, Prabhuji. I just went, I was very, okay. I pushed him, donate. He gave little. He did Sukruti, he got Sukruti. So when you go out to preach, we are going and giving opportunity of Sukruti. That means punya connected to Krishna. Why it is called punya? Because they want something out of that. It is not unconditional. We are also serving Krishna, but we don't want anything for that. The donor is thinking, if I do this, I'll get good in life. To him, God's blessing means good in life, material life. So it's conditional. So he gets Sukruti. So everybody you cannot expect to have that kind of a devotion. It is only by the mercy of a pure devotee one can get an opportunity to render service unto him. Pariprashne na sevaya. We are all engaging in service of Srila Prabhupada. Started in one way or the other, in a small way, maybe selling one book. It is service to Prabhupada. Then everything that happens here is for Prabhupada's mission. So that's bhakti. No more punya and all. Bhakti. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Matta Smriti Gnanam Apohanam Cha. Like everything is given by Lord only. Like when Jiva wants to forget Lord, or Jiva wants to remembering the Lord, that's given by Lord only. Then how can I understand that, Prabhu, free will of the Jiva?
When you desire to remember, He'll make you remember. When you desire you desire not to remember Him, you will get forgetfulness. So your desire is important. Your desire is a free will. What to desire is your free will. Mata smritir jnanam apohanamcha. Remembrance and forgetfulness. He is a giver. That means He is a controller of your consciousness. In my consciousness, this remembrance is there, this forgetfulness is there, that. But it happens according to your desire. Again, samoham sarvabhuteshu. I am not pushing one kind of remembrance into you. You want to remember me, yes, ye tamam prapadyante tam. You desire, I want to remember you constantly, my Lord. Then He will give us that remembrance. Please save me from Maya Seva. That desire should be there. Then He will do it. Let me be constantly engaged in your service. He is a fulfiller of all desires of karmis. Why He won't fulfill our desires? We cannot be inert. We have to be proactive in what we want. Our free will is also to that extent on par with that of the Supreme Lord. He does not interfere. Every living entity is where he is because of his past decisions. And he has brought to that position not by himself but smritir jnanam apohanam. He is a director of the living entities. Through his material energy. Vinashakale viparita buddhi Even viparita buddhi comes. If Kala has to take you towards a wrong direction, then viparita buddhi will come. But the root cause is you. That is the meaning, samoham sarvabhutesha. I have not imposed anything upon any living entities. I have not imposed. You have chosen. Any other question?
No, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, we see on the 10th day, when the dharma was at the bottleneck of being destroyed by Bhishma, Lord intervenes.
When?
On the 10th day, till the 10th day, Lord knew that it was impossible for Arjuna to win Bhishma. But till the 10th day, till last 2 or 1 Akshayani was left of Pandavas, he was simply waiting to destroy Bhishma or to raise his intervention in the cycle of what was happening. If we see in the story of Dhruv Maharaj also, till he takes his breath inside and completely impacts the whole cosmos, Lord will be waiting. Since this is the topic of that, I would like to ask you, is he waiting for the karmic activities to complete first and then he comes as being the master or the Vishnu, or is he really having affection for his devotee as Krishna to to help them or intervene in their lives? In the Shastras we see the Vishnu aspect more. He has designed the cycle, he is waiting till the end, that's all good, but somewhere we see the Mahat Tattva of Vishnu and his cosmic cycle only. Krishna is delaying a lot for all his devotees is what we are seeing from the Shastras, is what I have felt. Please guide me on this matter. Thank you.
No, it is the relation with Bhishma and Krishna. It is a relationship between them. Once there is a relationship, then there is a confidential relationship. Why Krishna kept him like that? Or why he chose to die on that, only when he wanted. So these are all, from that you cannot generalize it. And Dhruva's story is saying that also, he followed the process of constant meditation on the Supreme Lord. We follow the process of constantly serving the Supreme Lord in His spreading His holy name, preaching Krishna consciousness. Devotion service is of unlimited varieties. Only the principle is that ye yatamam prapadyante tam satya bhajamiham. As you surrender, I reciprocate. He is operating in everybody's life. Bhishma's life, Dhruva's life, your life, my life, it is operating. Because he is the Supreme Lord, he is the boss, he is the owner of every jiva. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.